Yeah. I just popped the tab on the low. I live 2 cab on the low. Everybody got the drop, but can't go to miles. They don't even got the gas on the low. Yeah, she let me smash on the low. All it took was a glass on my low. All she do is smoke weed, pop Zans, rock fans. She don't even go to class on the low. And I think that she got daddy. Oh, she got daddy issues. Whatever makes you happy. Oh, bring a baggie with you. I know voodoo. I'm on your soul like 2 shoes.
That's right, Moti. What's up? Marcus Ryan in this thing. So, fly, Eagles, fly.
So, real quick before we get started here, guess what happened on Spotify this morning?
What?
Someone posted a song to Cyrus's profile that's not Cyrus.
Oh, that's a big surprise.
That's not normal at all.
That doesn't happen every few weeks.
The struggle of an independent label. Just people posting stuff to our artist pages that aren't them.
Was it garbage?
I didn't even listen to it. Cyrus just...
Why can't someone post like some absolute fire to that page? Why can't like a Drake song accidentally get posted there that just gets millions
like
of...
a Justin Bieber song?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's frustrating. That's what I'm going to have to deal with all day today.
What's up, everybody? Episode 3 of the Specktators podcast. I am your co-host, Packy.
I'm your host, Moti. Yeah, Super Bowl was last night. What'd you think?
It was a sweet game. For once, I have no real complaints about the refereeing or calling a shit ton of penalties type stuff. The defenses were a little non-existent, but, you know, that's what I want to see. I want to see the fireworks.
It was an entertaining game.
Yep.
That's for sure.
Definitely. I'm glad the Eagles won. They deserve it.
So
Patriots have gotten their fair share.
Packy and I went in on squares with a few of our friends, and because the score was so messed up.
Well, okay, so it wasn't that many. We didn't have that many people, and we had about over 50% of the squares
filled.
Had names in them.
Yes.
And nobody won money.
No one won money. No quarters. We did every quarter, and nobody won any of them. That's insane.
Ridiculous.
Well,
Aaron was going to win the first quarter, and then they missed the extra point. What was up with the extra point missing? That was weird. 2 of them?
I don't know. A ton of people were about to win every quarter, and then they would like miss a field goal or go for 2 and not get it or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. What'd you think of Justin's performance?
So, I wasn't on Twitter or social media throughout the game, and I just thought it was all right. Like I was like, cool performance. I'm obviously a big fan of JT's catalog.
Yeah,
I was glad which I assumed he performed a lot of his old stuff.
Right.
Which was cool. I guess my only, and I'd have to go watch it again because maybe I'm just wrong, and this is just the vibe I got. But my only gripe was that I felt like he was doing a lot of performing, like he did some dancing, stuff like that. How often was he actually singing, though?
Yeah,
that's the vibe I got when I first, like the only time I watched it, I guess. Q showed up like right after halftime. He was watching the first half somewhere else. And he asked me what I thought of it, and that's what I said. And he was like, yeah. And we all kind of in the room were like, yeah, there was a lot of kind of smoke and mirrors, like a big production, which is dope. But as far as him performing, how much like singing
but isn't that all the Super Bowl shows?
Could be.
Though?
That's what I mean. Like maybe I'm unfairly, criticizing him. But.
Did you know this, that the NFL does not pay the artists to perform at those things? They only pay for production costs.
Oh, really?
So the artists are going to take advantage of literally every little thing that they can do production-wise because the NFL pays for that.
Like I said last night, too, in general, people are going to want the production. Like, I might be in the minority as far as I want to see a, vocal performance and stuff like that. In general, the people that are just tuned into the Super Bowl that want to see a show, want to see all the fireworks and stuff. And it was cool. Like, I'm definitely not hating. That was one thing I wasn't sure about. What do you think of it?
I am not a big fan of.
Plus, they do got to walk around for like 25 minutes doing all this crazy shit. So I definitely get you're not just going to be singing through the whole thing. You're
Well,
gonna be
right.
catching your breath.
It's a long
and
performance,
if you're dancing,
like straight through.
Yeah. But anyways, what did you think?
I'm not a big fan. Well, okay, not. What's the right way to put this? I feel like a lot of artists try to redo their hits to be show worthy.
My Love.
Yeah, well, and songs like
That's such a good song. I got pissed when,
it's such a good song, but I feel like I see it a lot at concerts though. This is not just a Super Bowl thing. It just came to my mind when I was watching the performances. I feel like a lot of times I'm at a concert and they're trying to make it this whole big like orchestra ordeal of like everything when it was just literally made as a hip hop beat. And that's what everyone liked. That's why it was a hit.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to redo it to like the nth extreme? Like, and it literally doesn't even sound like the same song when they're done with it.
Yeah.
Except for the lyrics. Like that's pretty much it. But and I'm not a big fan of that. That was the only thing that I kind of took away from it but I feel like it's not only his Super Bowl performance. A lot of people do that.
Overall, I give it about like a 7 or 8. Like it was a good performance. But then I got on Twitter this morning, and I saw like a bunch of I don't know if this was the general consensus, but my timeline was like best performance ever in the Super Bowl.
Why?
I don't know. That's what I was.
I guess I can't even think back to.
It was a split between that and people hating that he did the Prince tribute, which I thought that was fine because there was this whole thing about
hologram. And
like there was talk he was going to do the hologram. And then, like, Prince's family didn't want that, and Prince, like, had said he doesn't want that stuff.
I'm glad he didn't.
He thought
do
it was,
that.
like, demonic. Yeah, but then there were still some people that were like, well, he basically did. He didn't basically do a hologram. It was a projection it was a tribute. Like, and I thought, personally, it was tastefully done. If it comes out that he was told by the family, don't do anything, don't do any type of Prince tribute, then okay, I get the if people were mad that he did.
Yeah.
If he was told by the family not to.
Yeah.
But if they just said don't do a hologram and he did what he did, I thought it was a good tribute. Like he's in Minneapolis.
I don't know what's wrong with that.
Yeah, I don't get people will get angry over anything, man. I swear.
I thought it was super tasteful, and I didn't. I guess that's the one thing
people were
will
saying
say.
Prince doesn't fuck with JT, so he shouldn't have done it. But even if that's true, JT is doing the Super Bowl halftime show in Minnesota.
Did you watch his Beats One interview though?
No.
He doesn't fuck with JT.
I heard that. That's floating around. That's floating around Twitter and whatnot.
I'd like to know like if that's actually true, because if you watch JT's Beats One interview with Zayn or whatever his name is, they talk about Prince and like he was asking him about like his best Prince story, like hanging out with Prince or whatever, and Justin was like, I can't tell you or whatever because it's like secret, and
so they knew
blah,
each
blah.
other.
But they knew
like
each
that.
other.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, people.
I mean, I'm sure they weren't best friends. Or
people will
whatever,
come up with whatever narratives they want to come up with. But I thought it was tastefully done. I thought it was cool.
Whatever.
What about apparently that like the kid that was doing the selfie shit when he went up into the crowd is trending on Twitter this morning.
Really?
Yeah, I was.
He probably got the best picture ever.
I was looking. It is. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it.
I was like looking it up this morning. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. But he I guess he was just like filming, and JT was like coming toward him, and he like stopped filming and put it on photo mode and tried to get a selfie, and JT like actually took the selfie with him. So now he's one of these viral whatever going on Good Morning America.
I remember seeing it during the performance, and I was like, that kid just got the illest selfie ever.
Yeah, his braces were real nice. Teeth looking real straight.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to get like him.
Killing the game.
Yeah, here it is.
Let me see. Nice.
With them braces.
Dude, that's super dope. I mean, that's the thing. When people say that it might have been the best Super Bowl performance ever, I get it because JT's music in general and just the person that he is and the way he performs is just always good. Like, you can't ever hate on it. Like,
and he's got hits.
And it wasn't like political or like blah, blah, blah. It was just feel good, whatever. The only questionable thing was the Prince thing. that some people would like and some people wouldn't.
Like I said, if it comes out that the family straight up told him don't do any Prince stuff, okay. But other than that,
I'm just saying straight up, whatever you want to do, controversial, whatever.
Yeah. So back to the game though. What was up with Malcolm Butler not playing? Did you pay any attention to that? So Malcolm Butler is a cornerback on the Patriots. He's like, him and Gilmore are the cornerbacks. I don't know who you'd say is better, but Malcolm Butler's the one that picked the pass off against Seattle to win the Super Bowl. When everyone says Marshawn Lynch should have run it.
Yeah.
But he's a starter. Like I guess they said he's played like 98% of the snaps this year or something like that, and he got benched for the whole game.
What?
And they let up 41 points. So like when they were when they were asking him and Belichick and stuff about it after the game, Belichick claimed it wasn't disciplinary and it was just like part of the game plan. Butler says, I don't know, I guess they just gave up on me or something like that.
What?
I don't know. Really weird though.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And they gave up 41, like they couldn't stop anything. Seems like that would have helped a little bit to have one of your best corners in the game.
That's really weird.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can't. It's hard to question Belichick, but that
makes no sense.
That seems bizarre. That seems like something that could have possibly cost you the game.
Seriously, that's weird.
Shout out Matt. Shout out Matt Patricia, New England's defensive coordinator, future Lions coach, for giving up 41 in the Super Bowl. Can't wait to have him.
Were you paying any attention to the commercials?
Little bit. What'd you like? Tide really spent a lot of money.
Well, that was the biggest thing. I noticed Tide really dropped some coin on the whole Super Bowl deal, but I did think probably it was a tie for me with best as far as, because the thing is I did miss a few of them. So
yeah, I missed plenty.
But from the ones that I saw, the Alexa one was obviously good.
Yeah, I had seen some of those floating around. Like
the Doritos one with what's his face, the Game of Thrones guy.
Yeah, I can't think of
that shit was the best.
Yeah, that was good. And then the other one was Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, I
like those ones too.
Yeah,
I missed the because I had seen the Alexa teasers going around, snippets or whatever on the internet before the Super Bowl. Yeah. But I was in the kitchen when they played the full version, and you guys were all laughing. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. But yeah, Tide definitely spent a lot of money. I mean, how many commercials do you think Tide put?
It was at least like 4 or 5, I thought. And those
I think it was more
expensive placements.
It was insane.
Yeah,
I felt like every quarter there was a Tide commercial.
I've got a quote from the selfie kid. My phone is almost dead. I've gotten so many notifications. I've got like 36 Snapchats, like 21 DMs, and like 150 follower requests on Instagram. Damn, dude. I hope you can find time for all that. I got like 3 Snapchats. I got a couple girls slid in my DMs. That's funny. Like, that's a real quote.
150 followers, that's what he said.
Yeah, 36 Snapchats, 21 DMs.
Killing it.
Baller.
Killing it. Dude, one thing I will say, though, back to the commercial thing. What do you think about that Westworld coming out soon? This season 2?
Did they have a commercial about that?
Mm-hmm.
I missed that, too.
Mm-hmm.
I fuck with Westworld. When's season 2?
What did they say?
I've been called out on that I touch my mic too much in previous podcasts, so I'm trying to.
You're really fidgeting with it.
I'm trying to just keep my hands like this. I'm about to tape them down.
What did it say? Shit.
I don't know, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that if that's dropping soon.
Yeah, it had. Did it even? I don't even. Maybe it didn't even have a date, but they're probably just hyping it up or whatever. But yeah, I was pumped for that. And what do you think about them doing that Solo movie? And did you see that one? The one about young Han Solo? And I'm pretty sure Donald Glover was in the trailer.
Yeah,
like he's gonna be in the movie.
I caught the end of it because Tony said something about it, and I was like, "Is this the Black Panther movie or something?"
Oh yeah, no,
I remember. Then it was like Star Wars.
Yeah,
I just caught the end of it. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I mean, could be dope, but and then a new Jurassic Park movie too.
Speaking of which, I told you guys last night, but I saw. I hadn't gone to a movie since like summertime, and Glow and I went to the movies a couple nights ago and saw Den of Thieves. I thought it was really good because we just kind of went to go to the movies. It wasn't like, oh, I want to go see this movie so bad. We just were like, let's go to the movies, and it was good. Definitely, if you're into like the thrillers and like bank robbery type stuff.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Dope movie
because you said that it was really good. So
yeah, it had a good cast and stuff. But yeah, anything else about the Super Bowl?
I don't think so.
Shout out to Eagles again. Like that's big time. Just taking another team out of the Lions pool of having not won a Super Bowl.
Right. I'm going to check to make sure this is still recording here.
Did it shut off?
Yeah, my phone did, but I think the other one's good.
Did you start it back up?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to have any solo shots up to this point?
No, you should. I think because I got a call for some reason. I don't know.
Unbelievable.
I
Maybe it's the women rolling around upstairs.
Right? Seriously.
So, what's our big topic today that we're going to delve into?
Well, I think...
Danny was going crazy on Instagram.
About the Eagles?
Danny and Jared are from Philly, so they went to hang with their family and watch the Super Bowl, and I was just checking in on his Insta stories this morning. He was just...
Was it going
shit
crazy?
Canned. Just posing for the gram.
I heard Philadelphia was lighting the city on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be dope, though.
What, lighting the city on fire?
No.
Oh.
Team winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, for sure. Remember when we were in Seattle on tour when Seattle won the Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Just the most, like, euphoric mob I've ever been a part of.
Well, and that's the thing. They weren't, like, trashing anything.
No, they were just,
it was just whatever. It was
the biggest group of positive energy all in one spot I'd ever experienced. Just
sweet.
In the streets, walking around. I felt like a Seahawks fan for a second.
Right.
I was like, wait, no, I'm a Lions fan.
Back to reality.
Damn.
I wanted to talk about how we, like, the whole kind of delve into the details of, I know we've talked about it before, but how we started, like, the whole journey of how we got to, like, kind of our first tour or whatever, like, what happened before that point. Because I think it's easy to forget where, like, how much actually went into having all of that come full circle to form the parlay in our first tour and everything to where we are today.
That's real.
I feel like I even forget about a lot of the stuff that we even did.
Yeah, we were just going through some of the stuff this weekend, and
I think it would be cool for everyone listening and watching to kind of know exactly like a blueprint as to what exactly we did.
A lot of the comments we get, it seems like you guys want to know more specifics about kind of our come up and our grind and the stuff we go through. And it's good. I'm glad you guys comment that stuff because sometimes I think, well, they don't want to hear all these specifics. Like, I don't want to be up here talking about this is what I did, this is what I did. But if that's good insight for you guys, then that's what we'll do. And keep letting us know if that's what you want to hear, if you want us to go another direction. But yeah, so today you want to kind of maybe from like 2009, 2010 to the parlay drop very end of 2013, and we went on our first tour.
Yeah,
right
like
after
I
that.
kind of wanted to start at like 2009, which is October 1st, 2009. I kind of treat as the founding day of the Specktators. We put out our first song of the Never Ending mixtape in 2009. So
What
to
was
me, that was the I Gotcha freestyle.
Ooh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Did I write that?
Yes.
Is that the only song ever made that you spit?
I spit,
something I
but
wrote?
You wrote it. Yeah. Yeah. I
That's
think
funny.
it was. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. I totally forgot about that.
That was one of the first raps I ever wrote. Bars.
But I wanted to say though too, in 2009, I made 2 mixtapes by myself, like as solo projects, and they were garbage and they were terrible.
Spark Notes and
Spark Notes, and I named it Moti Mixtape.
Very creative. Moti Mixtape. Hey,
but
straight to the point.
There were 12 songs each, and it was kind of me experimenting how to like work all of the software and do everything that you needed to do, market.
Yep.
How to even work Facebook pages, or I don't even think Facebook pages was a thing at the time.
Creating some like graphics.
Yeah, I think right around that time, like Facebook pages became a thing. So maybe in 2009, probably, because I remember that.
You're saying pages, not just Facebook,
not your profile.
Yeah,
exactly. yeah.
Right.
They had like brand pages.
Right.
Yeah, but I created 24 songs, and it helped to actually be confident in recording what later would be the Specktators, to like give us. The quality was still lacking back in that day, but we thought it was better.
You have to start. You have to start somewhere.
You have to start somewhere, and that, I guess that's the thing, is rehashing all of that. I started out on a PC with, the application was called Music Maker.
I kind of remember
it's like
that.
Music Maker 10 or something like that. And it was
Moti Mixtape made on Music Maker. It doesn't get any more straightforward than that.
Seriously. And I would just go and I would find beats on YouTube.
This is that fun.
Or it wasn't even YouTube. I think it was, Bruce would get on SoundClick for me. Bruce was my friend at the time. A lot of you guys.
He's not anymore?
Oh, well, now. But he was striving. Well, he was kind of acting as a manager at the time. But he would literally like spend his days scouring SoundClick for me to rap over certain beats, because still to this day, 85% of SoundClick beats are garbage. But so it helped me save time and record time while he was literally just going through SoundClick and finding me beats that I would like.
Gotcha.
Which was helpful. But yeah, so I created those 24 songs. Then I realized, like, when you started, because I think it was 3 out of those 24 that you actually like got on, maybe 4 that you actually got on.
I don't even remember a lot of specifics those days. I just remember going over to your apartment and recording and messing around in the studio type stuff. I don't remember like specifically.
Yeah.
What you used on things. I
think it was like 4 songs.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. But you were really good, so I realized, and I was starting to have more of a passion for the production, mixing, mastering side of things. Slowly, not to exactly to this point. It was kind of halfway through the Never Ending Mixtape that I started to realize that I wanted to be more on the production background side of things. But in 2009, we started the Specktators. We made, I think it was around 8 songs for the Never Ending Mixtape. And we did a lot. Like, we started to formulate how we were going to do shows and get on whatever show we could possibly get on at the time, which only equated to, I think, in 2009, it was like 4 or 5 shows or whatever. So not a lot, but
that's a good amount.
But that's
because from what I remember, and jump in if I'm wrong somewhere, we moved into the same crib like summer of 2009.
Right.
And in September, or right about then, you came to me with the idea of forming a duo of the Specktators, where we're both rapping, and that's just how the music's going to come out.
Right.
So then after that point, you're saying we did 8 songs and like 4 or 5 shows?
Right.
In 2009?
Yes.
Like, that's a lot from September on.
Yeah, that's true. It was the fall. Yeah. Yeah, it is a lot. But yeah, I'm sorry. More accurately, the 4 shows were, 2 of them were me solely, and you kind of doing the do-da-damn thing, which was
doing like the few songs that I was on from you.
Right, right. And then we had 2 as the Specktators that year.
Okay.
So 4 total
shows
in our journey.
And then 8 songs.
But 2 as the Specktators.
So how many songs were on the Never Ending Mixtape when it was done?
I think we had...
What did the Never Ending Mixtape end with?
The Never Ending Mixtape ended with us redoing Do-Da-Damn Thing, you remember?
Okay. So it was what, like 25 songs total?
I think it was, yeah.
So fast forward. So that was 2009. A lot of you figuring things out on your own.
Yep.
In the fall, we joined up as the Specktators and started creating that way.
Yep.
Did a few shows as a duo.
Yep.
So then, and that's why we always say, if anyone asks, like, when did you start the Specktators and stuff, we always say 2009.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that there weren't things, like, you were putting things into place to know how to
It was
make music.
A lot of me just experimenting. Right.
So
before I even put out anything, though, too, like, it was years of me just experience. I mean, my roommates at the time, when I was a freshman in college, you ask my roommates at the time, I was recording them on tracks because I was desperate to, like, get somebody to do this with me. We never released any of it, like, to anywhere.
But you had to know how to
But
do
yeah, it was a fun thing for us to do and just listen to at our own parties and stuff like that, and like, oh, look at me, I rap. Like, it was fun, but we never thought of releasing anything until my first mixtape in 2009, and that was after me probably making like 40-ish songs, just messing around. Before I felt comfortable to even show anybody, like, publicly. That's what it takes, though. Don't rush your stuff out before you really know 100% that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Because people will judge based on first impression. Yeah. People will judge you, and they're either going to fuck with it or they're not. And that's like that. It takes a lot for them to reestablish that.
Well, and you got there's two sides to that coin, though. You got to put in the time to make sure you have a decent product. But then once you get to a certain point, you also can't, like, hide behind the guise of perfectionism, because then it's like, at some point you have to start putting stuff out and start growing. Like, you're not just gonna come right out of the gate with you know, your Grammy nominated album. It's gonna sound like you're just starting off, but you have to continue to improve it. And
we're still evolving today.
Well,
so it's always a journey.
That was 2009. So 2010, we basically continued the Never Ending mixtape with just dropping it, which was, for those that don't know, the Never Ending mixtape, we basically just dropped singles whenever we wanted to.
Right.
Finding our sound, finding out how to do this thing.
Right.
We would drop stuff on Bandcamp. I still remember to this day, like, dropping songs, going out or something, coming back and being like, 9 plays.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally, I'm not making that up or exaggerating.
No,
it was like 7 plays. 8 plays.
Yesterday I was looking
and I was like, hype.
Right. I was looking at our old Facebook photos on your Packy page, which used to be the Specktators page.
Yeah.
There's a really old photo that we posted to the wall, like, I think it was in 2010.
In the Spec at Slater?
It was in 2010 because it was our first Max Bar show with the Scheme. And it was that promo video that we did, the Don't Go to the Show video.
That was a sweet promo video.
We were hyped that, and it's like circled and exclamation, and we're like, oh, thank you for all the views. 1,000 views.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
But that was a big deal to us in 2010. 1,000 views.
So one of the first, it might have been the first show that we put together. Was it not?
I want to say yes.
I don't remember the exact date. Was that 2009 or 10?
10.
So it must have been early 2010.
It was summer 2010.
Okay.
Yep. Because you remember it was super hot.
Yeah. We put on a show. So we did these. A lot of you guys probably know Cue the Bars and Dags. So we linked up with them, and we started putting on these shows, Spec vs. Scheme. They had a group called Green Scheme. And so we started, we were thinking, okay, let's combine our friend groups. We were all around the same age, went to, like, different high schools in the area. So, like, there was a little bit of overlap with people knowing each other a little bit here and there. And we were like, all right, let's you guys do this shit, we do this shit. Let's combine and put on some cool shows. So we did that, and we put on a show at one of the local bars, Max Bar, and we got together, like, what, 3 times a week it felt like?
Yeah.
For a couple months preparing for this show. Because we wanted to do it right. We did this promo video. I don't think, we must not have had AC at the crib, because we had a bunch of people. Shout out James Garden, Filthy was on the show. Wayne, who's our barber now, the amateur.
Yep.
Was Jay Young on that?
Yep. I'm pretty sure he was.
But yeah, so some of the guys, Knox.
Knox was on there, yeah.
Yep, Jay Knox came over. I'm probably forgetting some people, but we did this promo video. We had some friends just come over to help with the promo video.
Bruce was on there.
And the tagline was "Don't go to the show" because it was supposed to just be like this ironic thing.
Mm-hmm.
And but it took forever to. It was hot as hell. Mm-hmm. So we're like, we got these lights on us while we're filming, and just everyone's wiping sweat before their take. And
we filmed that on a flip cam.
Yeah, yep.
That I think it can't go understated. Like, just use whatever you have, because our quality was not really there, but we had ideas and we just got them out there, and we weren't afraid to do it. Yep. And there was no excuses. There was just kind of like, we have this
to the best of our ability.
Yep. There was no, we'll do it someday when we have better equipment. No, get your shit out there.
Yep. So yeah, we did the promo video, and we ended up by the time the show came around, we had a sweet show where we vibed off Green Scheme well. We kind of, how we did the Green Scheme versus Specktators shows is we would all be on stage, but we would kind of alternate. Like, we would do some songs, they would do some songs. We would do a few cool things together. We do like some freestyle shit together.
Yep.
And it was a show. It wasn't just like come see the Specktators and then come see Green Scheme or vice versa. It was a show that we worked on together.
Yep. And
we ended up bringing out a lot of people. Like,
yeah, it was over 200.
Yep, for our first show that we put on.
Yep. And that's pretty good for locally hip hop for our pretty much first show that we put on.
And just so you know, I think I mentioned it before. We're talking about like friends and just getting your ass out there and marketing to get people to want to come. We had no fans at this point.
Right.
It wasn't like, hey, I want to go see the Specktators perform. It was like, hey, I'm going to go support my friends and have a fun night.
And it was like that for a long time.
Because that's how no one just starts with fans.
Right.
You have to earn them.
I do want to say, too, when we say that we got together 3 times a week to prepare for the show, we literally went through the set.
Yeah.
We did the set.
It wasn't them coming over and us drinking and talking about the show.
Right. This is not just us shooting the shit, doing whatever.
This is rehearsing and making
literally
changes and
doing the show.
Yeah.
Like it was going to be done at the show.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people do not actually rehearse anymore. You guys need to rehearse if you're doing music. If you ever want to perform, I get sick of these people that you can just tell when artists get on stage and they've literally never walked through their set before.
Yeah.
Maybe in their heads, but they haven't done it.
Yeah.
And it does. It translates to your show.
Course. It's like anything else. Preparation is crucial.
I just wanted to say that because I feel like when we just say we met and we
because some people will say that now. It's like, oh no, I rehearsed. Did you though?
Right. Exactly. I wanted to make that clear.
Were you in the shower going over your lyrics in your head?
Yeah.
Or did you actually rehearse?
No. You sit down with your laptop and you in your bedroom or whatever you do, and you literally go through it song by song, and you play it and you make sure that it works, and you know this song is coming first, this song is coming second, this song is coming third, and you even say, I'm gonna say this in between.
Yeah, you think of certain talking points between and stuff, because all of a sudden it happens all the time. You see people get up there and it's like, okay, this song's done. Yeah, so let's just get into the next one. Because you thought you could just freewheel it on stage, but then it's a different animal when you're up there in front of, 100 people or whatever.
Yep.
It's different if you're not used to it.
Yeah.
Like, I've done 1 million shows now and I still get nervous before I go on stage.
It drives me nuts when people what song is next? How do you not know what song is next?
Yeah.
This is your show.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. Anyways, back to the topic.
Yeah. So we were 2010.
Right.
We released 16 songs on the Never Ending mixtape, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
And we did, I'm pretty sure, around 16 shows too. And I'm not just talking, they were
that's
like,
what we have 16 shows.
16 shows?
9 local shows, and 4 out of town shows.
Yep. So,
and out of town was like an hour away.
Yeah, like not in Lansing.
Yeah.
Or East Lansing.
Yeah.
And a lot of those were with the Green Scheme.
For 3 of them?
I think more than that, because we had a lot of out of town shows with them. 3 local shows. what does it say? 3 local shows and 4 out of town shows with the scheme.
Okay.
So the Specktators Green Scheme, we branded as that type of a show.
We did it 7 times.
And we did it 7 times that year.
And so we did 7 Green Scheme Spectator shows, and we did 9 on our own.
On our own.
Okay.
Right.
That's a lot of shows.
Right. I mean, that's kind of crazy.
Like, I look back on that, and I wouldn't have guessed that. If you told me in 2010 you did 16 shows, I would have been like, no. We didn't do over a show a month.
Yeah, I know. I totally forget about that.
I think the thing that, because you don't want to, at a certain point, you don't want to oversaturate, especially when you're asking your friends to come out to these things. But that was part of the plan with getting Green Scheme involved too. Was we have 2 kind of fan bases who started to become one the more shows we did. Like everyone started fucking with each other.
Yep.
And then we'd also like jump on some other shows where we would open for somebody else or blah, 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 where you're not actually promoting super hard.
Right.
But that was another thing we did which I don't see a lot of local guys doing these days. We would promote the shit out of these shows.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just a million Twitter posts and Instagram posts. We would make clever videos.
Yep.
Like the Don't Go to the Show was the first one, but I'm sure all the Green Scheme Spectators people from back in the day can remember all these promo videos we did. Like there was the one black and white one of like how to get to the show.
Yep.
We did one show in the dead of winter that we all like went out and sat in beach chairs with like swimsuits on during a blizzard outside the venue and did a promo video.
Yep.
We were doing all these things. It wasn't just like, hey, I got a show, because that stuff tends to just go in one ear and out the other if you just on Twitter like, hey, show this day, show this day, especially if you're doing a bunch of shows.
Yeah.
So,
and again, these were not complicated things. They just took time to do.
Yeah, it takes effort.
You're right. But that's the thing is, unfortunately, guys, like when you're an up and coming musician, your job is not just to do music. Yeah. You gotta be the promoter, you gotta be the producer, you gotta be the engineer, you gotta be all of these things all at one time, or else this is never gonna work.
Yeah. And you gotta find people that are willing to help you out
and do it. Right. Exactly. But yeah, I mean, if we actually go back and think about it, like with that many shows, I'm pretty sure we must have done like at least 7 promo videos to promote those shows.
Yeah.
And by doing out of town shows, you branch out. And they weren't exactly because, trust me, it's hard to get your friends to do out of town shows.
Hell yeah.
To go to out of town shows. So they definitely were not the most comfortable like most fun thing.
Dude, I remember going to Blind Pig in Ann Arbor, like a popular small venue in Ann Arbor, during the week.
Yeah,
because it was the only time we were trying to get a show there. It was the only time they'd get us in. It was just like a showcase thing, and we packed in the WinStar, and we probably had like 8 of us, 7 of us, and we got out there, and I think there was like 2 other people that came. Yeah. Besides the people we were with.
Right. And I will say,
but you know what? We put a show on.
Right.
The people that were there had fun. The few like random people the people at the venue appreciated us and the show we put on and the professionalism and stuff. Yep. And we ended up back there.
Right. Exactly. But I want to say too, it's important for artists to do these type of shows not because you're making more fans. You're you're being more comfortable on stage with every single type of scenario that life could possibly throw at you. Because trust me, even when you're a more established artist, you still get the uncomfortable shows at cities where they don't know who the heck you are. But if you can put on a show despite that awkward situation, that's what makes you a good artist.
I still say to this day, even though I've done a million shows, it's much harder for me to perform in front of 3 people than it is 3,000.
Yeah.
Like, it just is.
Of course it is. It's super awkward.
You have to control that situation much more than you do in front of a bunch of people.
But that's the thing. But you're good at it now because you did so many before. You need to force yourself into those uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like, it's not fun. But we did it for like 4 years we forced ourselves into super uncomfortable situations.
So 2010, bunch of songs that we continued the Never Ending mixtape, 16 songs. We put out a bunch of promo videos and some vlog, like Q&A vlogs and stuff like that. And we did 16 shows.
Yep.
So move on to 2011. So we're, as far as when we started the Specktators, we're like a little over a year into this thing.
Right. So we stopped the Never Ending Mixtape at the beginning of 2011 to work on Familiar with Floss.
Which was our first mixtape.
Which was
the reasoning being that we went to each other and we were like, okay, the Never Ending Mixtape, the purpose of it was to try to establish our sound and get ourselves a professional quality of music.
Right.
And we felt like we had gotten there to the best extent that we could.
Yep.
We were like, let's make a mixtape.
Right.
And so that was Familiar with Floss.
And a lot of songs on Familiar, not a lot, but some of the songs were redone from the Never Ending Mixtape.
Yeah.
That were on that mixtape. So we get a lot of questions about why we can't find, like, people can't find the Never Ending Mixtape, or what was later branded as Finding Floss.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly what you just said. That was very experimental.
Yeah.
That was never meant to be to showcase a product or what we were about or anything.
Yeah.
That was literally just us putting out music, seeing what worked and seeing what didn't.
And right now, I get it's cool as a fan to be like, oh, but I want to hear, like, I don't care that it's not the highest quality. I want to hear how you guys started and all this shit. But what you got to understand from my perspective is someone that doesn't know me or has heard one or two songs and wants to go look me up and looks up Packy and goes and clicks on that sound quality and even just ability and stuff like that is not where it should be. And all of a sudden, they could get turned away not realizing that, wait, that was the first song he ever made type shit.
Exactly. It goes back to what we even said before about the first impression is everything. Mm-hmm. You got to keep people around for the first impression. And if the first impression was Finding Floss today, I don't think those people would be staying around for very long. But yeah, Familiar with Floss was...
Do you know what month that came out in 2011?
It was later.
Late,
it was,
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was... I want to say
October.
October,
yeah,
probably.
So we did that. That was 16 songs. We did a music. So was that when we did the Hometown Rock Crown?
Yes.
Which was a local event at the Loft. For those of you that have come to some Lansing shows, they're usually at the Loft. This Hometown Rock Crown was at the Loft, and just local. It was all genres. Local bands and artists would come out and compete, and you basically just put on a show. Do you remember how the voting went? Like how you won?
It was
I don't even remember.
They had judges.
That's right. Yeah, they had like local people, like radio people and things like that be the judges. Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
So they would vote you on to, and there were 2 rounds, I think, right?
Right.
So you make it to the next day, and then there were like certain things they had you do, and then they decide a winner. So we won, right?
We won.
First time we were in it in 2011.
Yep.
And one of the things they gave you was they'd shoot a music video for you. And so we had a song called EL Girls.
Yep.
And we shot a music video for that. So that was our first
music video.
Yep.
Ever.
Yep.
But yeah, and then but that was before, because EL Girls was already on the Never Ending Mixtape. So that got shot in the summer, and we didn't release Familiar with Floss until the fall.
Okay, but then with that video and stuff, that was such a big song that we put it on.
Right. Exactly.
So, and we kept doing the shows with Green Scheme. I think they runner up that year in the Hometown Rock Crown.
Yep, they were.
But that shows that us doing all these shows and building a little bit of a local following, us and Green Scheme.
Yep.
It shows that the fact that we won the Hometown Rock Crown and Green Scheme was runner up. Like, we just had that fan support.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily like, oh, they're the best.
Yeah.
It's just that if you're a judge, how are you going to argue with the people that just put on the best show and brought everyone out?
But we were very comfortable on stage at that point.
We had done a ton of shows already. So
it showed. Like, the judges, they knew. Like, and we had all of our friends there, and like, we were in our element at that point. Like, there was no uncomfortable, awkward situation.
Yeah. We kept doing the shows with Scheme. We did our first out-of-state show that year in Nashville. There was like a Bud Light contest that we entered.
Yep.
And we, I think it was just all online, and we were declared a finalist.
Yep.
I think it was fan voting and things like that.
Yep.
And so they sent us down to Nashville to compete, to go to whatever the next round was.
Yep.
And we got runner-up.
Yep. But we didn't make it out of the first round because of that.
Right.
We got runner-up for that division.
Right, but that was our first out-of-state show. And that was all genres, too. We were the only hip-hop group.
Yep.
And we did a very unique performance there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
It was kind of cool.
It was cool, but it was, then again, it was one of those shows that we brought some friends.
Yeah.
Very few. Like, there were probably like 5.
E came with, the Scheme came.
Yeah.
Did Bruce come? Boogie.
Yes.
Boogie
Bruce
was with
came.
us.
Yep. Bruce came.
Was Bruce?
Yeah. Bruce was there.
Yeah. Boogie was there.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember because we have the spectacle of us at the hotel and those girls across the hall, like, one of them put their panties in a bag or something and hung it on the doorknob.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we're living that rock star life. Runner-up Bud Light contest.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun, but it was one of those performances, though, that was not easy to do because there wasn't a lot of people there to see us.
No, and didn't I, for that performance, okay, wait.
Your
Wait.
Are you talking about your mic during that?
Oh, no, I wasn't, but yeah, I forgot that happened.
Do you remember that?
Okay, so, and jump in when you want here, but I put together the set, and from what I remember, I had like the set list of songs, but in between songs, I kind of like rapped in poetic form, leading to the next song. Like I told a story from song to song.
Yep.
And then we had the spotlight on me, and I rapped in between songs that led into what the next song was about, type shit.
Yep.
And you performed with me though, right? Like we still had a good amount of songs that we both rapped on at that point.
This was,
and we had Dags DJ. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, Dags DJ.
He had the shades on in the back.
Yeah,
because he was just like
dressed in all black.
Yeah, he was dressed in all black. He was just trying to fit in back there
with the beanie.
Yeah, he was vibing though. I forgot about that. That was funny.
That was funny.
But yeah, and then what was it? Near the end, all of a sudden my mic got disconnected. The cord came out.
Yeah, the cord fell out, and in the middle of when you were performing, and you had to put it back in there. Oh my god, we've had so many faux pas.
Yeah. That was not my fault. That was just
no.
But in a contest, you're like, okay,
faulty.
That automatically kills the vibe. Like we handled it really well. I thought you picked up some of the stuff I was rapping. I put the mic back together and we got back into it. But in a contest, it's like that kills you. But that was our first out of state show. Mad fun. Got some friends to come support. We have a spectacle that episode that includes a lot of that trip. If you ever want to go back in time and watch it.
Yeah. We have spectacles on a lot of these. I think from 2011 to 2012, we did a lot of spectacle episodes.
Yeah.
And that's all pretty well documented in there, what we're talking about.
So 2011, Familiar with Floss mixtape, which was 16 songs, bunch more promo videos and vlogs and spectacles, and like, what do we say, 11 shows?
Yeah.
11 shows. See, that's the thing that when we went back and counted this up, the amount of shows we did really surprised me. Because I think they all just felt like a process of a part of what we were doing. I didn't ever think like, okay, another show. It was just like, this is what we do.
We did a lot of shows.
So then, all right, we've been talking about this for a while, so I want to fast forward a little bit. So 2012 was a big year for us.
Yep.
We dropped the Sunroom mixtape, which was 10 songs. About That Life, which was 11 songs. We dropped 6 music videos.
Yep.
Filmed by you with some help from Boogie.
And we did have Neon Lights by
yeah. So a combination of efforts from Mo, Boogie, and some other people.
Yeah.
Bunch more promo videos and vlogs, all that stuff. But that was also the year that Joel reached out to us.
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
And wanted to.
That was after About That Life.
Yeah. No. It was after Familiar with
Sorry,
Floss.
it was after Familiar with Floss, right?
And he wanted to use refs
Yep.
in his shit from last week videos.
Right.
And he said he had been like paying attention to what we were doing and he liked the song, wanted to use it. But that's when we started to get to know him and and that started to help us grow a fan base even wider at that point. And so that we did those mixtapes.
Hold on, I want to pause right there because Joel was a big part of us getting a lot more views and a lot more attention. So let's keep in mind, though, that we were doing music for 2 years previous to Joel coming in for, well, longer than that, doing music, but being the Specktators for 2 years, posting music on YouTube constantly, getting like 20 views every single time that we did that.
Yeah.
That's 2.5 years that we were doing that.
And that's something I stress to anytime local artists ask me things. One of the big things I stress is that point you just made is it takes a long, maybe it'll never happen sometimes.
Yeah.
But if it does, it usually takes a long time of consistency.
Yep.
Like I always take it back to like even posting stuff on Facebook back in the day. It was like, I'm going to post this record I made, or I'm going to post some random thing. But we made a concerted effort to post every day to keep whoever was interested, which was for a long time, 1 person, 2 people, 3 people. And it just slowly grew. Like I remember you back in the day talking about you were one of the few local people, because we'd obviously keep tabs on what other local artists were doing around us and stuff. Nobody was posting all their songs to YouTube. No one was doing near the amount of YouTube videos we were doing.
I was posting every single song. We were doing promo videos, and we were doing random vlogs that we would just sit in front of the camera and talk about what was going on. And spectacles, but those came way later. But I'm talking about from 2009 to halfway through 2011.
Yeah.
We never missed a song, and this is including my solo stuff. I was posting my solo stuff online. I was solo vlogging before the Specktators even came to fruition. That's a lot of videos.
Basically,
that keep
the
getting
point
posted.
you're trying to make is the example of like Joel found our music and wanted to use it.
Right.
Basically, what you're trying to say is people look at other people when something good happens for them and nothing good ever happens for you. Are you doing the things to get yourself out there? Are you casting the widest net you can cast?
Right.
That's the sentiment we're trying to get at.
Right.
And then you still got to have breaks, but you had to put yourself in the situation.
We have to realize that Joel would have never had interest in our music or found our music if it wasn't for us posting to YouTube every single time, because it was always there for him to find.
We'll have to get him on a podcast soon, and even because we haven't really just sat down and had a long conversation with him about his perspective of that type of thing.
Yeah, and we definitely will, for sure.
But also, I don't want this to come off like, this is what we did, and like, whatever. So I hope it's not coming off that way. It's just I always think it's interesting to get insight into how other people did their thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So like the other thing to add to this though is while we're doing all this stuff musically, we're both going to school full time and working like 29 hours a week.
Yep.
So
it's a lot of stuff.
You can find time.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that was 2012, and then finally, and by the way, we're also making zero money.
Right. We're making
from music.
Nothing on music right now.
Fast forward to 2013.
I do want to say too, 2012, or was it 2011? Halfway through 2011, maybe we started making money on YouTube.
I think it was early 2012, maybe.
I think so. I think it was early 2012 that we
signed with a partner on YouTube. And that's another thing that happened because we built a YouTube channel and had subscribers and things like that. But yeah, we signed with a partner. But so we started making money on YouTube. 2012 we made, let's see, like a couple grand.
Yeah, not much, but yeah.
So then 2013, this is the last year we'll talk about because that's when we actually started. We dropped the Parlay, our first album. We went on tour like soon after that, and we actually started making real money. But we made the decision we were going to move out to LA.
Yep.
We kept dropping music videos, kept shooting those. So I'll say first half of 2013, we did a bunch of local shows. That was when the MTV stuff was happening. That You guys have all heard that story, I think.
Yep.
And we ended up, the project that they wanted to put out was The Transition.
Yep.
And we ended up putting that out independently ourselves,
Yep.
which was a compilation of some of our old songs and a few new ones, which was trying to give you guys something, but also raise a little money for ourselves to go out to LA.
Yep.
So we did that. We did a going away show in our hometown, which was, I talked about that on an earlier podcast, I think, was the first time that we realized, wait, we have fans.
Right.
That actually came out and we saw them in person.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So yeah, we did that, and then we moved out to LA in the summertime, and Mo and I just basically locked ourselves in the studio and made those 13 songs, which are the parlay.
Right.
Did obviously you guys know the story, I think, of that, like lots of promo, lots of those things, and dropped that in December of 2013, and went on our first tour that in the winter right after that.
Yep.
And that's when and the parlay is the first real money we ever saw from music.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's a long story long, but obviously there's way more we could even get into, like walking door to door to frats and sororities and places on campus to try to get our music out there and say, hey, come to these shows and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of little stories that I wish I could remember all of them right now, because I know that those are kind of interesting to you guys too. But that's one, going door to door with flyers and stuff.
Yep.
There's a million others, but
I mean, we did a lot of stuff, and we failed a lot of times too. Like we tried a lot of stuff,
and it's still happening. We're still trying things and failing.
Right. But that's the thing, is people look at it now with the views and the money and everything like that, and it's like that just did not come for a long time. And it was a lot of just it was consistency.
But you know what else I will always remember from when we started it up until even when we started making a little bit of money? I always remember having we'd always come back to exposure over money.
Yeah.
If we ever had to make a decision on, well, we could do this and we could make a little money, or we could do it this way and gain more fans and not make money, we always chose exposure.
Always.
And that's why we had jobs. We did all that stuff because we didn't want to have to rely on the money grab.
Right.
So we always went for exposure.
We always went for exposure, and we didn't turn down many times to do a show.
There's lots of times where we felt like we were being used.
Yes, for sure.
But we did it because it was like, okay, this will pay off in the end. Right. Even though it's not right now, we still do sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
You just have to weigh if it's good for you or not.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't think we've ever gone into that detail. That's why I kind of wanted.
Yeah.
I get questions all the time about all this stuff, and it
definitely let us know in the comments whether that was insightful for you guys or whether that was just boring as shit, having us talk about every little piece of our resume.
I just know on Twitter all the time I get these little questions about different things, and we've never really a lot of people know the general story but don't really know the specifics. Yeah. So I was trying to give an insight into that.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I was an artist coming up right now, I would like to know that.
Well, and sometimes it's that simple of you up-and-coming artists ask what can they do to better themselves and get themselves out there more. And sometimes it's just as simple as work your ass off.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes if you go back and look at some of the stuff, like I look back at my last couple years sometimes where a lot of it doesn't show in the actual how many songs, how many videos, how many whatever. And I'm like, damn, I've been slacking.
Yeah, for sure.
But obviously there's reasons for that, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, you have to be able to look back at your shit and be like, okay, I'm not as big as I want to be. Look back at the last year and tell yourself, what did you do to get yourself bigger?
Yep.
And sometimes it's as simple as that.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, let us know if that's helpful for you guys, if that's insightful at all. Hit us with more specific questions if you have questions about what we are talking about there. I'll try to pay a little closer attention even to Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that the next few days, because I'm sure some of you guys will have some questions.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that. I think we talked about that long enough, no?
Yeah.
You got any other topics for the day?
I think that was the main thing that I really wanted to get out of the way and talk about. I think we're to the hour mark or close to it right now.
Really?
Yeah. So
Blake Griffin trade. Pistons 2-0 with Blake Griffin.
Oh yeah.
Coming for that ship. Coming out of the East.
Okay. Dial it down.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
No one really scares me in the East.
No one scares you in the East?
I mean, Boston a little bit, but Cleveland looks poopy diaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
don't even want to get into that. I've seen that flying around my timeline way too much.
I can't even really talk
Cyrus
about it
seems to really hate the Blake Griffin trade.
I think a lot of people
I think
do.
everyone
Or did.
Everyone on my timeline that I saw comment about the Blake Griffin trade, Cyrus replied to them. Worst trade in the history of the NBA.
Dude, did you catch Cyrus's live stream the other day?
No.
He actually did a good job. He
What was
was
he doing?
was talking to fans. He was like bringing them into the live stream
Nice.
with him, and like he brought Marcus in.
Good stuff.
He brought me in, and I
Ruined
I did 4 seconds of it and X'd out because I was trying to watch the state game.
Oh, word.
But yeah, I mean, I was trying to like tune in and tune out because I was watching the state game and that at the same time. But
I saw him like retweeting stuff on Twitter from it. So it seemed like it went well. It seemed like fans enjoyed it.
I think that live stream, I think you should do it more too because
I know. I should.
It's cool to bring in the fans too and like literally talk to them live.
I haven't done
that's
that
a
yet.
cool that's a cool aspect. I like that. If I had more people following me on Instagram, I would do it more.
Yeah. That Blake Griffin thing made me just think of some random thing that's been bugging me. On ESPN, have you seen their like promos for NBA games? They have, I think it's YouTubers because it's always like on YouTube, sponsored by YouTube TV, and they have these like promo commercials for the games.
Okay.
It's like this duo that raps it. And
Oh
sings
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Those are awful. I can't even think of some of them right now, but it's just like awful.
I know what you're talking about.
Awful vibes.
Yeah.
Why did they choose them? I don't even know. They're probably huge YouTubers. I don't know if I'm just hating now, but I just can't get down with
Yeah,
that.
but everyone's a rapper now. Doesn't matter. It's easy to do.
And he hit him with the sick cross, and it's prime time. Like the words they use, like, and they're about to be the kings of the conference. It's like, I guess if they're making you specifically talk about NBA standings and stuff, and you're like, there's no way to really make that cool. So maybe I'm just hating. Maybe I couldn't come up with anything better if I had to do that. But damn, I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're talking about because I think I've seen it like once, but I can't really. I can't think of like examples.
Yeah. What else bugged me this week? Oh, you know how you see people, I saw it again this week. You know how you see, usually girls, someone will tweet, although guys do it these days too because we're soft. You find time for the things you want to find time for. I guess it's like F you. Or like that type of shit.
Are you talking about girls tweeting
Yeah, you
this?
find time, like if you wanted to find. Right. And he didn't want to find time for you. Like, are you just publicly clowning yourself? Like, you're right. Is that supposed to hurt or something?
I know.
I don't understand why when people like tweet stuff like that out publicly, like you should like you find time for the things you want to find time for, and obviously someone didn't find the time for you, and you're mad about it.
Yeah.
The proof is right in front of you. He obviously other things were more important.
Right.
So if that is whack to you, then get out.
Yeah. I know.
Otherwise, get off Twitter.
People have too much time. Seriously, like why are you tweeting about stuff like that? Like get a hobby. Like honestly. Some people need to figure it out.
I'm about to just start.
I will say this is a great I mean it's kind of on topic but kind of not. I'm going to put myself out there and say when I was struggling with relationships as a young college lad, guess what I did to distract me from being that person that just tweets about it all the time on Twitter and social media and just complain to my friends about it?
What?
I fucking started making music.
Yeah. That's when I started writing.
But that's the thing, like figure out something that you can do to distract yourself from being that dumb person that just has to complain about everything all the time. Yeah. When you feel the need to complain about it, go do something else.
Yeah. And everyone falls victim to it once in a while. It's just the era we live in. But don't be the person that's always doing it.
No. Don't be the person that's a professional complainer.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Also, if you're doing anything athletic, don't wear jeans. Glow and I were walking.
Is that on topic?
Glow and I were walking the dog like the other day, and this girl's out running with her dog in jeans. And this is a conversation that Dags and I have had a million times. Like when we'll be in a softball league or something, and someone will roll up there in just jeans.
How do you play like anything?
I don't know how you run in jeans. I don't even like to sit and watch TV in jeans.
Well, I went to the doctor and did my stress test the other day and ran in jeans. But to be fair, I didn't realize that I was going to have to do a stress test.
I can't believe they said you were in good health.
Yeah.
And you were. They asked if you worked out.
Yeah. Guys, guess what? My heart is completely healthy. I have, according to my blood test, I have the best diet ever. Which, if you know anything about me, I eat out at least once a day.
And drink pop.
And coffee. And don't work out. The most workout I get every day is me pacing on the phone with everybody that I have to call to run this business. But that's about it. But they said that I was in perfect health.
So just keep doing what you're doing, I guess.
Yeah.
I think I have to retire from basketball because I was playing yesterday and I might have dislocated my shoulder. Swear. It kills. Like, I can lift it above my head, but if I go like this, that hurts. I can't sleep on it. I have to retire. I'm too old.
You're getting old.
I got my tooth knocked in. I got braces. I played like 4 more games, and I dislocated my shoulder. I'm self-employed. I can't afford these medical bills.
That's what I'm saying. You have to be thinking about that now. You remember when you were making fun of me for doing that?
Yeah, when we lived in Phoenix, and I was still under my parents' insurance, and Moti's got his own. He like refused to do anything because he's like, I don't want to get hurt.
I don't.
Like, let's go hoop. I don't want to get hurt.
Dude, it's expensive to get hurt.
It is. I'll give you that.
It's super expensive.
That's why I'm just going to hope this goes away.
These kids that are watching this have no idea what we're talking about.
No, seriously.
You guys will find out soon enough.
All right. Anything else to talk about?
I'm good on this end.
All right. Cool. Per usual, subscribe. Definitely subscribe and leave some reviews on Apple Podcasts if that's how you guys listen to.
Yep.
Yeah, and we are paying attention to them. I'm seeing a lot of that you guys are liking the podcast and stuff. If you have suggestions, leave them. Like I said, I'm interested to see if this one is going to be awful or very insightful and you want more. It could be either way for me. Yep. It's a coin flip for me right now because we pretty much just talked about our own past.
Yep.
Let us know if you want us to talk about more topics or random shit, but whatever. Cool.
Good. All right, we are outroing out to Packy's Gravy right now.
Interesting choice. Old song. Thought we were doing We Know You in Real Life.
Oh, yeah. But, we'll do this one instead.
Old Packy!
Take another sip like fuck it, I'm gravy. Lady on my hip like that's my baby. No, she ain't the one, but she my type crazy. Summer night love with my life like lately. Fuck it, I'm gravy. Long as all my brothers got their feet above pavement. We like it when them girls buck naked.
Let me know if you want me to drop a Through the Wire verse.
Don't even gotta say shit.
Next week if you want it.
Look at how I played it.
It's already written. It's fire.
Money motivation. Y'all look fucking anxious. Do it from my city and I did it from my basement. Hoping that my girl don't do the titties and the faceless. Everybody wanna be famous. Take another sip like. Take another hit like fuck it, I'm gravy.